In this video, we're going to have Kyle Kulinski of Secular Talk taking a look at Sam Seder of the Majority Report doing a Jubilee debate, air quotes, with 20 Trump supporters. Look, frequently somebody will come in the comment section and point out, oh, it's a guy talking about a guy talking about a guy. Fair. That's what this is. I'm a commenter who comments on videos of other commenters. And in this case, commenting on, it is like the two mirrors that you see the crazy bottomless reflection of each other. But that's what this is. So, if you don't like it, then I invite you not to watch it. One of my favorite things to do when somebody posts something like that, especially if it's got a kind of a snarky tone, is I just post a link to Bo Burnham's Welcome to the Internet. Which, if you don't know what that is, look it up. It's fun. Anyway, I watched this. I can't, Jubilee doesn't let you repost their stuff. So I'm not sure how Kyle here has gotten around it. But I watched the whole thing. It's an hour and a half. I thought it was really interesting. And I thought some of the most interesting parts of it were that there were a number of people that talked to Sam. Everybody was nice. Everybody was civil. But there were a few people who were just unapologetically Christian nationalists, or in the case of one young woman, she was what's wrong with xenophobic nationalism, just unapologetically hard edge, hardcore right. Really, really interesting stuff. Anyway, I'm rambling. So why don't we take a look at this video? This is doing a little bit of an end run about it by watching Kyle talk about the Sam video, the Jubilee video. And, I have my opinions that I'll layer on to the multi-layered already existing content. And then I want to know what you think in the comments.
All right, y'all. So you got to hand it to Sam Seder. Sam Seder is a true OG in this game. I've been doing this full time since 2012, and he's got me dusted. He had to be, mid-2000s or something like that? I think he was on Air America Radio, which was the first attempt to combat the Rush Limbaughs of the world and right-wing talk radio and Fox News. It was mid-2000s, and it was liberal talk radio. And my understanding is he hasn't stopped since then. He's still going and going strong. And you also got to hand it to him because homie was ahead of everybody else, including me, where he was able to sniff out the charlatans and the grifters and the con men. I'm talking about the Jimmy Dores of the world who pretended to be criticizing Democrats from the left and virtue signaling about how he's the purist. And then eventually Sam Seder saw it. He said, this is not going to end well. This is going to end with this guy embracing MAGA and going to the right and just continuing to shit on Democrats 100% of the time and not criticizing Republicans. And that is, by and large, what's happened. Right? It was same case with, a number of Joe Rogan. He was one of the first to criticize Joe Rogan from a left-wing perspective and be like, I see where this is going. He's going to go full MAGA. And of course, he went full MAGA. So this guy is a bit of a legend in the game here. And he decided he was going to do one of these things that the YouTube channel Jubilee does, where he takes on 20 Trump supporters at once. And so highly recommend you go watch the entire thing. It's about an hour and 30 minutes, but it's well worth it. And man, look, he did a fantastic job, but my takeaway is I feel very little hope having watched this, right? Because here you have young conservatives who are really arrogant and sure of themselves and they just say the most insane things. So let me walk you through it. Let's start with this one.
Yeah, but I really want to. This is long, so I'm going to keep my comments brief. But you see that on the left as well. I consider myself a member of the left. There are certainly people on the left that can be insufferable assholes also.
Here, dude comes up to him and wants to talk about Social Security. And listen to how he opens up.
So what if Social Security should go away?
I gotta be honest, man, I don't know if I have the patience. I don't know if I would have the patience to do what he's doing here. I really don't. This is... So the topic, by the way, is the GOP will destroy Social Security and healthcare, right? And this guy's like, yeah, why should we have Social Security? Why shouldn't it go away? All right, now Sam is going to absolutely shower him with facts. He's going to hit him with a tsunami of information here, but watch how much it hits a brick wall. Here we go.
Because Social Security keeps 2/3 of our elderly out of poverty. And not only does it keep our elderly out of poverty, it's essentially a social insurance program that protects you if at the end of your life you don't have enough money to survive.
This is where the guy should be like, oh, okay, that's a good point. Yeah, I'm not in favor of having elderly homeless people in this country. I'm not in favor of immiserating millions and millions of senior citizens, grandmas and grandpas. So, good point. I agree. Nope.
For right now, do you know that it's also the albatross around our generation's neck?
No, it isn't.
Okay, so
let me just explain this.
Well, you're going to go back to lecturing me about Social Security.
Well, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, Social Security is one of the top 3 funded.
Social Security is almost the biggest thing that our government does.
Exactly, and we are more than $30 trillion in debt.
Well, first of all, Social Security cannot contribute legally to the deficit.
This guy's hitting a brick wall, and he doesn't care. He's being humiliated, and he doesn't care. He's being hit with factual claims and doesn't care. Again, to any reasonable person, once you hear, oh, Social Security keeps 2/3 of our seniors out of poverty, you'd be like, all right, okay, that sounds good. Noble goal. I like that. But no. Then he's, oh, bro, we got $30 trillion in debt, bro. And he's like, actually, Social Security, by law, does not add to the deficit. And he's like, watch, it's going to keep going. This keeps going.
Because they don't even account it in the federal deficit every year.
That's correct.
We have
because
30
it's
years.
Self-funding. When Social Security started in 1936, you have more workers than retirees because people haven't entered into retirement. By 1970, it was at 3.5 to 1. Now it's at 2.5 to 1. But productivity has increased during that time, so the amount of money paid into Social Security has been up there. The reason why we are running out of money just for the trust fund, not for Social Security, like I say, if we do nothing with Social Security now, it is statutorily unable to contribute to the debt. The math is right there. The reason why the trust fund is running out is because wealth inequality has hoarded so much money above the cap.
You don't think it's because the government does a terrible job managing their money? They have a huge spending problem, and they go, look at all this money we have for Social Security that's earmarked for 60 years from now that we're just going to...
This dude, like, he literally does politics by, like, bumper sticker, right? Or, like, fortune cookie slogan. He's trying to regurgitate whatever he heard on Fox News or Newsmax or One America News or on the Daily Wire. And it's so hollow. It's so vapid. Look, I don't know what to do with you if you just want objectively bad things for people. Like, I don't know how to deal with that. I can deal with somebody who wants good things for people, but they've been misled, right? And they've been told, hey, this thing will help people when it doesn't. I can work with that. You know, we can figure that out. We can get to the bottom of that and we can get, you know, your politics on track. But if you just heard that Social Security made it so that the senior poverty rate went from over 40% to 10% and you're still like, I don't like it. You say, oh my God, this is adding to the deficit. And it's like, actually, it doesn't add to the deficit. If you hear that stuff and your instinct is to be like, okay, maybe I should reevaluate here, then I don't know what to do with you. Then, you know, it would be fair to call you pro-senior citizen poverty at that point.
Spend on something
40 years ago, they predicted this. This is an actuarial table. Accountants sit there and look at it. This is a very easy math problem.
Accountants in the government are always right? That's totally the thing that you're saying? That they're always correct about money, right? That's why we have a $40 trillion debt problem.
The problem isn't the math with the $40 trillion debt problem. It's you have tax
It's
cuts
the spending problem. I totally agree with you, which I would argue is part of why Social Security has gone in the hole already.
That's simply not true.
Oh, okay. So we're out of money from the Social Security bucket.
No. Statutorily, by that I mean by law, Social Security pays for itself. If we do nothing, the 6.2% that your employer and your employee pays into it will pay out 78% of benefits starting in 2033.
And why is it going down? If everything's so much better, why is it only 78%?
If we raise the cap, there's a cap right now at $176,000. So, for instance, if you make $100,000, you pay $6,200 into that.
A year,
A year. But if you make $4 million, do you know how much money you pay into Social Security? $6,200.
And so why should wealthy people hang on? Why should wealthy people pay a higher percentage?
No, they should pay the same percentage. 6.2 on $400,000, 6.2 on $1 million.
And why should they pay even more money at all?
I can't deal with this, dog. Why should they pay a higher percentage for the Social Security tax? And Sam is like, I'm not talking about them paying a higher percentage. I'm talking about them paying the same percentage. But right now, they only pay the 6.2% or whatever it is on the first $176,000. If you just remove that cap and tax them that 6.2% on all of their income, then Social Security is fully funded as far as the eye can see. Right? There's so much misinformation on Social Security. Like the idea, bro, it's going bankrupt, bro. It's going bankrupt, bro. So we have to cut it. We have to cut the benefits. We have to do it. This is what people say. Well, guess what? It's not true that it's going bankrupt. As Sam's pointing out, if you do nothing at all, after 2035, it still pays out. I read 83% of its benefits from then on. So even if you do nothing, it still pays out 83%, right? But if you just lift the cap, it's fully funded as far as the eye can see. If you make multimillionaires and billionaires pay the same rate that somebody who makes a nurse who makes $70,000 a year, make them pay the same rate, then we're good. And by the way, it actually would be a good idea to not just make them pay the same 6.2% on all of their income. I would be in favor of making them pay 10% or 12% and taking that money, trying to do a Social Security for all program, expanding Social Security. Because again, this is one of the most wildly successful government agencies in American history. In fact, it is the most beloved government program. Gee, why? I wonder why that is. Could it be because we're just directly giving money to people who desperately need money, trying to keep elderly people off of the streets so they don't live under bridges?
And we're not just giving people money. We pay into it. They're called entitlement programs with a sneer from the right. Entitlement. Yes, I'm entitled to it. You've been taking it out of my paycheck. I've been paying for this all along, and I didn't, by the way, have that choice. I'm entitled to it because I've been paying for it a long way. And when people say, oh, the debt, there's not enough money, I say, where's the money? Right? There's not enough money for the government. Where's all the money, guys? Where's all the money? Five dudes have half of all of it, right? So, I mean, why should rich people pay more? Because that's just common sense. It's not doing them any good. If you're worth $50 billion and then you put 250,000 people out of work and then that takes you to $55 billion, that does not improve the quality of your life. That's not doing you any good. It's hurting 250,000 other people that just lost their livelihood, and your net worth has gone up by $5 billion. But you can't feel that. That's not an improvement for you in any real way.